So the first game that we're going to be talking about is a game called Mina and Michi. This came out on the Switch as well as other platforms, and it came out recently, June 30th. Was developed by Light Up and Radalaka Games, and again published by East Asia Soft. So first off, thank you East Asia Soft for providing us codes. And this is a top-down, kind of like an adventure puzzle game where you control two characters at the same time, and you go through different environments, different seasons as you collect keys, open up chests, find money in grass, defeat enemies, and solve a lot of different puzzles. Greg, what did you think of this game?
I really, really enjoyed my time with it. So just a little head note, like I did get the 104%, and that was getting every single treasure and solving every single puzzle and beating all the bosses, along with even visiting the special room at the very end of the game. So I definitely enjoyed my time with it. It was very reminiscent of like a almost like I guess what Triforce Heroes tried to be. If you could actually control like all of them at the exact same time. I know Triforce Heroes you could switch between them, but this in this case you actually got to use one control stick to control Mini and the other one to control Michi. So that was a very awesome way to play through like a top down like Zelda game, just being able to have two characters both being able to fight bosses and solve puzzles like simultaneously, or you could just control one if that you felt more comfortable doing that way. So I had definitely a lot of fun playing through this game.
Yeah, it's very interesting and kind of jarring. Just because you're controlling two, and it takes a little while just to get accustomed to that because certain buttons, like there'll be a gate, and you need to put one character on the a switch to unlock the gate, go through and find another button with that other character so that you can move the other character over. I'm not usually a fan of games like this, only because it's hard for me to always have to deal with a second character because I'm the kind of person who I will play with the one character, and then when I can't move anymore, I'm like, oh, hold on, let me move the other character to a safe spot. Uh, it wasn't that bad for this game because you don't need to bring both characters to like advance a screen, which is cool. You just had to do the one. A lot of different puzzles. If you mess up a puzzle, you can leave and come back. Most of them are block puzzles, pushing a
Yep.
puzzle to a switch. I will say that they can be kind of annoying in the sense that you can't really correct yourself. So if you pushing two blocks and they're just a little too close together and you can't get between them to push them like left to right, for example, you have to reset the whole puzzle because there's no real tell-all. You can't pull. At least I didn't figure out any way to pull.
No,
Um,
there's no way to pull them. That was I think that's part of the strategy element is to not having to do it because otherwise a lot of those puzzles will be a lot simpler. Because it's like, oh, I
yeah,
broke it against the wall, but oh well, he can't get it away from the wall because he can't pull it. So it's like you have to kind of figure out how not to push certain ones against the wall and which ones to do first before others and everything. But I definitely did note I had that. That's like like a minor gripe to me that like lining up was just kind of iffy because even if your character was like in the way, like it couldn't like push it all the way against the wall, and then you kind of like adjust it slightly up or down, and just that small difference can mean like fitting through the small gaps to get around and in between some of the different passageways.
yeah, and those are again minor gripes.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting to find how to get the keys. Although I found it weird, like some of the keys was like you need to spend 100 coins to get a key, and then you open up a chest and you get like less than 100 coins, or at least it felt like less than 100 coins. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to playing Zelda, so every time I saw the grass, I was always chopping it and walking through it. So I didn't really have a lot of trouble accumulating the currency. I always had like 3 or 400 every time I saw one of those 100 coin gates, and I was like, okay, well, that's not much of a challenge there. So
Yeah, there's a little challenge in the beginning before you get your weapon because you can't kill enemies, but once you do that, I'd say one of the only other things I would like to see is some kind of helper, like in where to go, because it doesn't tell you. So if you're confused, hey, where did I go? Like maybe you stopped the game for a little bit and came back to it. Where was I going again? That would be kind of cool. Uh, the other thing I noticed is some like paths are like a giant circle. So let's say you start north and you're going around, northwest to west to southwest. Um, you get to a room and suddenly like, oh, here's a big block puzzle. You do the block puzzle and it just unlocks the door that you just came from, and it's kind of like, oh, this was for if I went the other way. It would have been really cool to know that, so I didn't waste my time on this block puzzle just to unlock the way I came. But again, those are minor little things. I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it. And how long did it take you to do your 104%?
It was just right around 3 hours, like just about on the money. I mean, I think there was like a few seconds or maybe a minute or two over, but it was essentially 3 hours exact.
Yeah, that's why you're getting a good length game. You do have hearts. You can find heart containers to, you know, give your hearts back. If you die, you just kind of restart. So it's not like I don't think there's any. Oh, it depends on the difficulty. I was on the easiest difficulty, so there was infinite continues, but there is a hardcore difficulty where it's one life. So you really have some challenge if you want it there, and what would you say to finish up? Would you recommend this game? I don't even remember the cost of this game.
It was
I think it's
$5. Steve had it on
about
the
five
early
dollars.
in the beginning on. I was definitely looking for that when he was displaying it. I would definitely recommend it. There's definitely a lot of playthrough if you're even looking to like speed run. It like tracks those kind of information as well. So if you want to try to get a better run, you're always welcome to go back through. I'm not usually the speed running type, but I still felt like I definitely got $5 worth of entertainment out of the 3 hours getting everything. Um, Outside those few things that you said, like with the puzzles not always aligning to the direction of the map screen you wanted to go, like just having a map would have been a very great feature to have, just to kind of see which rooms you didn't complete and everything like that. The very final room, I had to do like a full circle around that last area just to find where I was supposed to go, and it actually turned out it was in that first room. I just had to go up, so it was like the one room that I couldn't find. So, um, yeah, that was outside those very small things. I still definitely think it's worth it.
Yeah, a map would have absolutely helped for sure. Even I mentioned a pointer idea or a hint idea, but yeah, a map would have rectified that as well. I also recommend it for $5. I think you're getting a good chunk of game, especially if you like puzzle adventure style games and Zelda games. Definitely think this is one you should check out, especially if it goes on sale. But even at $5, I think you are absolutely getting a value. And again, thank you so much for East Asia Soft for providing us both codes so that we can talk about the game today.